Yes, guys, how you doing? Welcome back to Football Inc., the wonderful home of the Jonny H and the Sean. I hope you guys are all happy and healthy doing the things you love with those you love to do them with. Guys, it is game day 2 in the Champions League week. It's Wednesday night. We've got another 3 English teams participating this evening. We've got Arsenal against Bayern Munich. We've got Tottenham away in Paris, and we have Liverpool at home to PSV. If that's a drama, if that's an absolute shit show for old Kloppy boy, I mean, there's a lot of El Sacacos that might be coming up before Christmas. John, before we come and say how you're doing, guys, please smash the like button for the channel. If you enjoy the video, hit subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell. That should be squeezed. And drop your comments thick and fast. Let us know your thoughts on everything. If you want to get your thoughts on the budget out the way as well, if you're in the UK, let us know in the chat. Jonny and I were just talking backstage. Absolutely painful. Before I come over and see Jonny, last bit of admin, guys, is we are, of course, available to be watched back on Spotify, and we can be listened back to on all of your other podcast platforms. So if that's your jam, then please find us over there. Search Football Inc. or look in the description below. You'll find the links for them. Give us a follow and a rating. Jonny, how you doing, mate? Good to see you. Was that for the budget or for PSG tonight?
No, I mean, this is for the budget. This is for PSG. This is for life in general.
Put a fork in me, Lord. I'm done.
I'm done. Honestly, I don't know. I don't know what. Rachel Reeves is the Christian Gross of chancellors, right? But let's be honest, guys, right? If you don't want to work and you want to have 20 quid and 20 kids, this government is for you. And if you want to go out and work, I suggest you leave the country right now. Best thing to do.
Where are you going to go there, mate? Where are you going to go? No, you personally. I mean, where can anyone go? They can't escape this. They can't escape this. Like it's everywhere you go, you're going to get smashed with some sort of Cyprus
speaks English, drives on the right side of the road, massive tax breaks, much better weather.
Until you get there, and then they turn around and up their taxes as well.
They're massive driving for inward investment, right? They're trying to turn it into a little mini Dubai. Lots of tech investment. If you want to go, listen, Mittal's just leaving. The biggest, our wealthiest man, the man of steel, he's leaving. They're all leaving. They're all leaving. 18,000 people are leaving. And when you listen to Rachel Reeves' speech, I was like this. I can't believe that she's got the freedom to speak for that long, for those many lies for so long, without anyone calling her out. And
the whole thing is this is obviously more of a conversation for rabbit hole ramblings. But you know what, mate? Don't worry about it. We're gonna have a chat today. We're in the mood to have a chat because we're both pissed off with what's going on. Whilst we're on the topic, right? The shamelessness. First of all, I can't believe the OBR dropped the absolute clanger of releasing that budget before it was supposed to be spoken
PSG
about.
Game. I mean, who does it before the Spurs PSG game?
Come on now.
I mean, come on. At least on Thursday, right? I don't need a double whammy of the budget and Spurs playing PSG away, right?
No, 100%. The other part, though, mate, is that woman, the deputy chancellor, who got basically made redundant for not paying her taxes. They're going to bring her back. And when the Conservative Prime Minister, the leader of the opposition said, just quickly for PMQs before we get into the shit show that's going to be the budget, can you just confirm that if you do bring her back, is she going to have to pay the 40 grand that she hasn't yet paid? The budget is about to announce that everyone else is going to have to do, and is she going to give back her £17,000 in redundancy pay? And he wouldn't fucking answer it. No, what are we doing? It's rules for thee, but not for me. You know what? It's a lovely little transition, Jonny. Rules for thee, but not for me. Cristiano Ronaldo. I watched more about this video yesterday. How the fuck has he got away with playing at the World Cup?
Honestly, it's absolutely ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I mean, he committed a sin. He committed a foul. And as we said the other day, you know, when Idris Gueye slapped King, yes, it was interesting, but the rules are the rules. There's no special rule, right? But as we know, Cristiano Ronaldo went to see his mate, Donald the Hitman Trump. And as we know, Infantini's head is so buried upside Donald Trump's backside that he had to just look down between his legs and say, "Hey, Infantini." And lo and behold, what happened? What happened? Magically.
It's a joke. Like Caicedo, right? Caicedo is banned for the first game of the World Cup, but Ronaldo isn't.
Well,
right?
Now
there's players that are playing for Argentina that are banned for the first game of the World Cup because they had a one-match suspension, right, for too many yellows in the qualification tournament. They're banned, but Ronaldo, who is sent off for violent conduct, by the way, conduct, a 3-match ban, he gets one, he serves it, and the other 2 are suspended. He gets to play, but the guys that just got a yellow card for dissent or whatever it is, that they have to sit out of the first game of the World Cup. The only other person in world football that would have happened for is Lionel Messi, right?
Well, I don't think Lionel would have actually gone down that route. I've got to be honest with you. I don't think he would have. Ronaldo, the ego is so huge that I don't think, look, the thing is, if I was the Argentinian FA or the Ecuadorian FA, I'd be now contacting the FIFA and saying, we're using that as a precedent. If you're doing it for him, you have to do it for everybody. You can't select him as the only person because he's a figurehead. I'm sorry, it's just bullshit.
It is absolute. But if I'm Cristiano Ronaldo and I see the fallout from that, by the way, for your own reputation, you should probably sit there and fall on your sword and say, I don't think it's right. He's doing this, wasn't he, to the Irish fans as well, right? All throughout the game, mocking them. Then he gets sent off. They all do it back. He serves his 1 match and then gets the other 2 suspended. What is the possible justification? I haven't seen the official announcement. I've just seen people talking about it. But what is the possible justification to have a 2-match ban suspended for a year? That's never been done before.
Honestly, like I said, it is not a coincidence that Cristiano Ronaldo was wandering around the White House, Donald Trump showing him his new ballroom. Hey, what do you think of my new ballroom? Probably gold and white. Huh? Paid for by Qatar. I mean, could you imagine the shenanigans that are going on in there? I mean,
is it paid for by Qatar? Is it? I thought it was paid for by the tech companies. I thought the tech companies paid for it.
Well, can you imagine the sort of tech that's involved in there? But
I reckon it's a bit of a personally, again, not to get wrong channel probably, but I think there's things underneath, like a data center or something underneath it.
Probably be all sorts. Yeah, there'd probably be a nuclear bunker and God knows what else.
By the time it's built, Donald Trump won't even be in office, will he?
Well, I don't know. Maybe it'll house his collection of wigs. I tell you something. If you get time, guys, right? If you've got Netflix, go and watch a film called The Apprentice. It's a film. It's not a documentary about Donald Trump's rise under Roy Cohn, right? Cohn, C-O-H-N, who was his mentor. And you can understand why Donald Trump is like how he is, because of Roy Cohn. He created a monster. And it's a brilliant, brilliant film. The mannerisms are great. If you don't know the story, go and watch it, because Roy Cohn was a fascinating character.
Yeah, I don't know the story. Is he one of the Coen brothers?
No, it's Roy Cohn. He was a lawyer. He was in the McCarthy trials. He was a lawyer, but a mover and a shaker, and a guy who knew how to manipulate the powers that be at the very top. Yeah.
Rule one of those people, mate, is I'm listening to a book, an audio book, and I can't think of what it's called. Right? It's basically it's a riff off of like an original book that was printed in like. You know what? I'll talk about that later on. We'll do it. We'll get into football. We're getting off the topic completely. How's everyone doing? Please smash the like button. Please smash the subscribe button and hit the notification bell and drop your comments. Johnny, big game tonight for Tottenham.
Should we talk before we do that? Should we just do a recap on last night's games?
Oh yeah, sure, yeah.
I mean, there were some fantastic games. Look, we predicted last night that we thought Bodo might get something out of Juventus, and it took Juventus. Was it the 93rd minute they scored a goal?
Yeah. Great game though.
It was a good game, to win 3-2, and I think they did very well. I think Bodo made a very good fist of it. No pun intended.
Galatasaray, they might not make it out of the group though, you know. They might not be in 25th to 32nd or whatever it is.
Yeah, I think. Look, I think they've made a good account of themselves, you know, and they're only going to get better with the money that they're getting in. Yep. Galatasaray, Union Saint Gilloise. What a surprise that was! I mean,
yeah, that's good. My bet, to be honest, a red card though. It was a red card in that game. Late though. It wasn't early on, was it? It was a late red card, but USG, mate. These Belgian teams, bud. Belgium for next season, we'll definitely add a Belgium team to our second clubs.
How many of those players could you see ending up at Brighton or at Hearts?
Probably a few of them. They got some really really nice. I'm just going to get the lineup up. That 8 El Hadj in the 10. Yeah, very very high, very handy player. Van der Peer. Oh, they got Zorgan. My man Adam Zorgan. Do you remember we were talking about him? And yeah, he's doing well for them. Doing well. Really good player, that guy. Lovely player. Big. They
moved themselves up nicely in the league. The one team that absolutely, I mean, Juan Foyth got sent off for Villarreal, and they sort of went away with it after that moment, because Borussia Dortmund were only one up. Your mate Serhou Guirassy with just the one goal, at that point. But Juan Foyth going off really opened the floodgates for Borussia Dortmund, and they went on to score four goals. Up until that point, it was really, really tight. Guirassy got another one on 54 minutes, and Karim Adeyemi scored one. Borussia Dortmund looking really, really strong. I don't fancy our chances.
I don't fancy our chances in that game, to be honest.
No.
The way we're playing at home, stinkfest.
Stinkfest, mate. Stinkfest. Can't see it. Borussia Dortmund looking very strong. And
Marseille, did you see Aubameyang's goal for Marseille?
Yeah.
Unbelievable, mate. Unbelievable. The one that was he basically whipped it in from the touchline.
Yeah.
Unbelievable goal.
He rounded Pope, who I don't know, had a rush to the head. What was he doing out there? What was he doing out there?
I got no idea, mate. No idea.
I mean, Harvey Barnes has given them the lead.
Yeah.
And, you know, the ball's come out from the midfield, and Pope's run out. What was it? I don't know what he was doing. He was in no man's land, and he thought, oh, fuck. And he started running backwards. It was too late, but I did think Aubameyang had pulled it too wide.
Yeah. But a lovely finish. Who scored a goal for Spurs like that recently? The goalkeeper. Johnson, wasn't it? Brennan Johnson.
Yeah, Johnson.
But I think Aubameyang's one was further wide. It was lovely finish.
Aubameyang scored 2 last night, and there's 2 things to take away from this. Harvey Barnes is on a really good run at the moment.
Yeah,
can't stop scoring.
He scored a second, but it was ruled out, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was ruled out. But the thing is, do Newcastle have a problem playing away from home? Because again, they lost away from home.
Yeah. It's weird, isn't it? I think you were saying this yesterday, Johnny. I'm not sure, was it on this channel? I forget. You know, like if you'd rather be a team that is good at one or the other, you'd rather be a team that turns your home team into a fortress. But yeah, Tottenham's away record starting to get a little bit difficult to look at, and the home form is absolutely atrocious.
It was a good game. Listen, the one that I wanted to see last night, my guy was unbelievable last night. My guy Estavo, right? Absolutely
unbelievable.
He showed Yamin Lamal exactly what it's about. And I got accused of overhyping and going a bit mental in the summer when I said he's going to play. Before a ball was kicked, I must hasten to add that he was going to be the best Brazilian to ever play in the Premier League. I'm not rescinding it. I'm not taking it back. He's magical. And sometimes you watch a player and you just know he's got it all. The only thing that can affect it is the mentality and your mindset, as we've seen with so many players before. There's loads of them that somehow
he might not be at Chelsea for that long though. You know, if he does jump that far,
you're looking at. I'm telling you, by the time he leaves, Sean, you'll be looking at 150 mil. Yeah,
maybe, yeah, possibly. How old is he?
18. Yeah. 18. 18. Yeah. I mean, honestly, listen, the point I made when they signed him, he was going to go to Barcelona or Real Madrid. They were all fighting over him. And Chelsea got there because they offered him what? They offered him the number 10 shirt. And who owns the number 10 shirt?
Yeah, Cole Palmer, yeah.
So how's that one going to work? Are they going to sell Cole Palmer? Are they going to share the load, or are they going to try and fit them both in the same team together? Can they fit them in the same team together?
Yeah, they could. They could. Well, this is a headache. This is a good headache to have, isn't it? You know, I don't know. First of all, I don't think you'd necessarily sell one or the other over a squabble over a shirt number. Like, I mean, I don't know how precious people get over shirt. Now, I know Ronaldo got precious over the number 7.
But I think it's the position more so. Like,
yeah, I hear you on the position side. But Cole Palmer can play off the right. They could change the formation to accommodate having a two tens in there, but make it more narrow. Yeah, there's lots of options, and of course they're playing a lot of football, aren't they? They've got such an unbelievably good squad in certain positions. You know, like it's not. You know, Arsenal have got a squad of. I mean, maybe I think you can make the argument that Cole Palmer and Esteval will, at least in maybe a year or two's time, be certainly better than potentially better.
Right at the moment. At the moment, he's playing off the right, but look, Spurs don't have that luxury of which one. One of them's got to give way. I mean, Garnacho for me is a better player than currently. He's a better player in the Premier League and in football than Xavi Simons. You got Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez, and now they push Reece James from the right back position into the right.
Protecting a little bit of an agenda. You're starting to build a little of an agenda against Xavi Simons. I feel like Johnny.
I hope he comes true, mate. I don't want any Spurs player to fail. No,
of course. I know.
I don't want any of them to fail. But they even played Pedro Neto last night as a false 9, which was interesting. Delap came on. Yao Pedro didn't get any minutes. And Torek George and Delap got on. Obviously, Delap got the goal, but they were long gone by then.
When did the sending off happen? I didn't actually get a chance to watch the Barcelona show.
40th minute or 45th minute, something like that, just before half time.
Right.
Listen, I just think that Chelsea squad is just insane. It really is insane. And they thoroughly deserve win. Whether or not it would have been as much had they not had the sending off, one would it's hard to tell, but I still think they were comfortable. But one team that wasn't comfortable last night was Manchester City at home to Bayer Leverkusen. We both thought, have City turned the corner? This was 2 games ago. Have City finally turned the corner? Are they a challenge to Arsenal? Are they going to be back on the Champions League trail? And they failed both tests, Sean. They failed the test on the weekend, and they failed the test here against the Bayer Leverkusen side, who aren't smashing it up. I thought Kwanzaa was fantastic last night for
Leverkusen.
For Leverkusen, yeah.
But Man City rested so many of their players, didn't they? They put on there was no Haaland didn't start. What's his name? Nico Gonzalez was really bad. Was really bad in my opinion. From what I've saw anyway, from what I've seen, I didn't again watch the.
I'll go with one-man team, Sean. Look,
maybe.
If you took Zubimendi out of Arsenal, they'd still be fine. They're better with him, but they'd be great without him. If they lost Declan Rice, they wouldn't be as good without him, but they would still have a fantastic team. I'm not sure with the recruitment of Manchester City. Rodri, we saw Manchester City with Rodri are a machine. He drives the tempo. He drives absolutely everything.
Rodri, if you lose Rodri and, God forbid, you also lost Haaland, I think that City would really struggle. I think they'd become very beatable. Very, very beatable. But
I listen. For me,
not good.
there must have been a reason why they dropped so many players. But like you said, Phil Foden came on as a sub. Cherki, Doku, and Haaland and Nico Riley all came on. Up to that 60th minute. But Mamouche never did anything. El Nouri came off at half time. Reinders didn't really, get much in. I mean, they should have been beating this Bayer Leverkusen side. Schick. I keep forgetting his name. Patrick Schick.
Patrick Schick, yeah. What a player.
Yeah, doing very, very well.
Still, we've been doing it for years, Patrick Schick. He's a great player. I've wanted him for so long at Tottenham. And he's a brilliant player.
And they played interestingly. They played 3 at the back.
It can be done.
It can be done. Well,
Union St. Paul played 3 at the back away at Galatasaray and dominated. It's like it can be done.
Well, listen, Bayer Leverkusen had a Poku. They had a Doku. But it didn't work out. It didn't work out for them. A surprise defeat, a real surprise defeat for them. Napoli versus Carrier-Bag. I'll tell you what, Scott McTominay, mate. I was watching him last night in that game, right? Because I was flipping between the games. He's just honestly, I would take him at Spurs all day long. I would rush to get him. They absolutely love him there. They absolutely love him there. It feels like everything goes around. The runs he makes, his aerial duels, his aggression, his running power. I mean, he was involved, in both goals. But one was just a reaction. But I think Carrier-Bag are a better team than most people thought. The alarming thing
at home Carrier-Bag are more of a threat. It might just be the travel time or whatever, but they're a team that's definitely they beat Chelsea. Did they beat Chelsea or draw? They drew with Chelsea, didn't they?
They drew, but listen, it took an own goal and a McTominay goal like in the second half to beat them.
Yeah.
But listen, as Kicks TV said, would you pay 70 million for him? Probably not. But if his name was Scottini McTominay, the answer probably might have been yes. I was speaking to a Man United fan the other day on Sunday, 2 Man United fans, in fact, and they said the worst thing they ever did was get rid of Scott McTominay because they thought they were too busy buying 70, 80 million pound players every 5 minutes and didn't look at the talent they actually had on
Was he homegrown though?
Well, he come through their youth, I'm sure.
Yeah, so it would have been pure profit. It would have been probably a sacrifice that they could do to be able to spend more money than I don't know. But yeah, big loss, mate. Big loss. He always contributed a lot when he was at Man United. Always pop up with late goals, important goals. Really nice, interesting player.
Same for Scotland. Same for Scotland as well, Sean. Constantly coming up with headers, and we saw that amazing overhead kick the other day. It's not the first good goal that he scored, you wonder how a team that has such a good academy can keep spending ridiculous sums of money on players and sort of miss out on. Well, look at the players that were coming through. They're not getting a look in, are they?
No. Yeah. And you know what though, that is a question mark, right? Like Amorim, at some point, I mean, I never really thought they were back. I know Man United fans started gassing up Amorim. I remember saying on the chat here, like, it was only 6 weeks ago, it was only 4 weeks ago that that donut was in the dugout at the Grimsby Town game, staring at a chewing gum stain on the floor, right? And then he wins a couple of games on the bounce, and everyone suddenly thinks that United are world beaters. And we treated them that way when they came to our gaff. but they didn't treat themselves that way. I think both teams have got a little bit of a similar vibe, similar stories last season, getting to the final, terrible league form, bang average squad, however you want to call it.
14 months in, though. 14 months.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, he's definitely. Yeah, he's had long enough to be able to sort of get something more. But I think that they played quite scared as well. I think that when they came to Tottenham, both of us, it was like hot potato. Nobody really wanted to have the ball. Everybody wanted the other team to have the ball, and it became a real boring, miserable encounter. And I just look at Amorim and I think, not only is he not doing well enough, not only is his tactics stubborn and he's trying to shoehorn people into his formation rather than having any kind of, obvious talent to be able to work with what he's got. But at the same time, he's leaving players out that once upon a time showed a lot of promise. And I think that you could again take this, and not to make this about Tottenham, but you could maybe look and say one of the problems about Tottenham is we started the season very well when we were playing Pape Sarr in a more advanced position, and he could use his rangy legs to press from the front. And then when he came out of the team, Tottenham sort of dropped in their form a little bit. And then when he came back into the team, he was played more in deeper roles and couldn't really, engage. And I think that the same thing could be happening with players like Kobbie Mainoo. Manchester United fans.
Is Kobe going to go? Is the likelihood is that Kobbie Mainoo is going to be another one like Scott McTominay that's forced out with all the money that's been spent? Personally, I think that Ruben Amorim, having been 14 months at the club, having had all the money that's been spent on him, and still to be delivering this football for a club of a higher stature than our club, Tottenham, has run his time. Personally, think he's run his time. And I think Oliver Glasner would be the one for them because basically they're already playing free at the back, but he'd have them playing much better than Amorim. But I can't give a like for like because, as I said, Thomas Frank, he needs to massively improve everything. But we're looking at 4 months as opposed to 14 months and, 3 transfer windows or 2 transfer windows. But I fail to understand what's going on with Amorim because, there's been, not to beat Everton with 10 men the other night. They're not in Europe, Sean. They're playing 1 game a week. They're out the Carabao Cup to Grimsby. Yep. He has 1 week. He has more time than any top team.
Yeah, and there's no real signs of improvements, are there?
I don't see any sign of improvement, right?
And there's no sign of willing to adapt, and there's no sign of willing to play these players who, when they played well, played for the badge. Like someone that's come through the youth system, they understand what it's like to be a member of that team of that football club. Like if I'm a Man United fan, I am sitting there going, play Kobbie. Like, give him a fucking go. He's someone that, first of all, can get on the ball and do bits. He's technical. He's tricky. Maybe you can make the argument that his frame is lightweight and therefore maybe the bigger, stronger, faster thing is part of the conversation. Whatever. But, if you're looking for more inspiration from your team and you're not finding it, yet you're playing the same players that aren't doing it and that are unreliable or volatile in their output, and then you've got a geezer that knows what it is to be a Manchester United player because he's a Manchester United fan, and yet he can't get in that team. Question marks are rightly being asked, right? But then I don't know, mate. You were saying the other day it's pretty impressive for Sir Jim Ratcliffe to sort of say, you know what, we'll give the guy the 3 years or whatever. I think there is merit to that as well. But
I think there is merit. There is merit because he's looking at Arteta and what Arteta went through in the first 2 years. But Imran, you're saying here, don't get me wrong, he needs to be sacked. But you're saying it's not just about money. I'm not saying it's just about money, but when you're the manager and you're saying you need this player and you need that player, we've seen how much money, how many hundreds of millions of pounds have been wasted by Man United on players that just didn't cut the mustard and have had to leave or have had cut wages, whether it's Anthony, whether it's Højlund, whether it's Jadon Sancho, and I could go on and on and on, and to ignore some of the youth players. And then here we are well into his tenure, and with 1 game a week and a whole week to prepare for 1 game, he's got no excuses, none, right? None at all. And you say he's got a couple of injuries. Spurs have got 13 injuries or 10 injuries, right? He's not getting any cut or any leeway. And neither do a lot.
Sorry, is that regarding? Is Kobe Mainoo just come back from injury? Is that what you're saying? I didn't know that.
Well, no,
he was injured. I thought he wasn't being played.
He hasn't been playing as well. He's had some minutes. You've seen he's been pissed off that he's not been considered. When it comes to injuries, I don't think Man United are right up there with the amount of injuries.
They definitely need a little bit more at the back. I think they need a bit more mobility at the back. I think they need a bit more of a ball player that can carry the ball out. And I think that they definitely need a tempo master in the midfield. And like I say, I think that Kobe Mainoo could actually offer something similar to what they need. He's probably not the overall solution. They need someone in an ideal world, like everyone would love to have an Adam Wharton that can just come in and just, do that role. Everyone would love him for sure. But in the meantime, until you find that superstar, I don't think you're going to get that from the current players that he's sticking with. Like Casemiro is up and down. Casemiro can be absolutely unplayable at times.
They're better with him than without him.
Yeah, they are. No, they are. But you can make the argument that Tottenham are much better with Palhinha than without. But at the same time, recognise and acknowledge his weaknesses. Like, he's fantastic at what he's very good at. But I don't know, is Casemiro getting a little bit leggy towards the end of games? I don't know. I don't examine Man United as closely as other people, as Man United fans. So
I've got to say to you, Sean, until Casemiro went off, we weren't in the game against Man United. We came back into that game where he went off with his muscle strain or whatever. That's when we came back in. A lot of people said, it was the changes and the subs. It was when Casemiro.
They went down to 10 men, didn't they, for the last sort of 12 minutes?
But I'm talking about before that. But Casemiro. Look, what I don't understand is I was a huge fan of Adam Wharton at Blackburn. I just loved the way he just grabbed hold of the ball and forced it forward every time. Ping, bang, always looking for that forward pass. Spurs are crying out for that player. Most clubs are crying out for that type of player. And yet, the only one that went for it, I'm going waxing lyrical about him, and the only one that went for him was Crystal Palace, and I couldn't believe it. I never expected, though, if I'm brutally honest, for him to end up in the England squad that summer from that January transfer window. But now, I think people are fondly looking on.
Ever-present part of it. He's how old is he? 21, 22?
He's young, but if you took him out of that Palace team, he's their Rodri. If you took him out of that team, I don't think Palace would be as good.
I'd say he's more like I kind of view him kind of more box to boxy. He definitely is a 6, right? But I think he can play any sort of role. He's so progressive with the ball. Yeah, and it reminds me a little bit of a younger, not the Steven Gerrard at the end of his career, but Steven Gerrard at the start of his career when he was just just everywhere and just creating the kind of the momentum of the team, just picking the ball up in lovely spaces and then knowing what he wants to do with it before he does it. It's almost like a bit of a dying breed in football to have players like him, and it's lovely to see when someone who's so good at it so young. He's a really good player.
It's a pleasure to watch. One other game I just wanted to talk about. Obviously, there was a terrible 0-0 draw between Slavia Prague and a misfiring Athletic Bilbao. But the game I wanted to talk about, which was a great game, I was flipping on the screens I could watch last night, was Middlesbrough versus Coventry, first v second. And Coventry raced into a lead, 2-0 lead. Coventry pulled it back. And it looked like, for all intents and purposes, that maybe Borough were going to go on to win it. But yet again, they came back with 2 late goals, 85th and 86th minute goals, Coventry. Ellis Sims and Kletchin, I can't remember his name. They are absolutely storming the league. I mean, they're 10 points clear, but they got a plus 30 goal difference.
Yeah.
Plus 30.
Quite incredible. Incredible. And they do it very good. Stoke did well again last night, didn't they? They won 3-0.
Yeah, just on a quick one on that, they need to get Jamie Donnelly home. Ashley Phillips is ever present. We're not really talking about. Not a lot of people are talking about Ashley Phillips. Everyone's talking about Vuskovic. Everyone's talking about all these players, but no one is mentioning Ashley Phillips, who is playing every single game, week in, week out, as a young kid.
Yeah, doing well as well, doing very, very well. And Stoke are second, aren't
they? Second in the league. Yeah. Second in the league. And so I'm a bit baffled, Sean, baffled as to why more Spurs fans and more people aren't talking about him. Anyway,
his name's not Ashley Filippini.
Yeah, well, that's it. That's it. But we certainly don't need more right-sided centre backs. We could do with a left-sided one. Right, should we look at today's? Do you want to do this? There's a super chat there. Do you want to do?
Yeah, go for it. Daniel, Phil, big up to you, Danny boy. Appreciate the feedback as well for last night's show, my man. Shoot. As truly comments, we appreciate any support and all support. Thank you very much, Dan. Appreciate you, my man. What a legend you are, buddy, and you're always around supporting all the channels. Talking about a team with a high goal difference, mate. Should we start with PSV's trip to Liverpool? PSV currently sit, I think, I know that they are top of the league. I think they've got a plus 25 or plus 24 goal difference.
Yeah.
In 11 games or 12 games over there. So they're scoring 2 goals a game more than they're conceding, and basically killing it in the Dutch league. And they're on their way to Anfield tonight. Pretty sure Pierre Van Hooydonk's son is in the PSV team from memory.
What's his name? Mickey Van Hooijdonk?
I can't remember. Let's have a look. PSV, their team is. His name is Sebastian, is it? Oh, Sidney Van Hooijdonk. Sidney Van Hooijdonk, yeah. Good-looking kid. How old is he? 25 years old. Not even a kid. 25 years old. He plays up front. And you've got, of course, Ballard in the middle, good player. Nasso on the in the kind of right of that midfield three, good player as well. They're probably going to come play a back five, back three, whatever. What's that?
I thought you said NASA there, straight out of Egypt. Listen, they might give. Look, I've said it before. Liverpool's defence is shit. It's just shit. They should never have got rid of Quansah.
My bad. Sorry, my bad. No, Hooijdonk plays for NAC, not for PSV. My bad.
Okay.
Did he used to play for PSV? I'm sure he did. Anyway.
Well, you did well there. He's a kid. No, he's not. He plays for PSV.
Yeah, I fucked that completely. completely screwed that one up.
Apart from that, listen.
PSV team.
Liverpool should never have got rid of Quansah. I said it at the time. He was outstanding last night in the back three. And they're sitting there with Konate, whose brain's elsewhere. Virgil van Dijk, who looks like he's on the way down. And all they got is Gomez to plug the hole. Not good enough. Spent 400 odd million. Salah looks like, I don't know. I've got my money. I don't need to do anymore. I think it's going to be a blessing when Mohamed, the hitman Salah, goes off to AFCON, and he's not playing for them, because it will be a chance for Liverpool to see what life is like without him. How much influence he's having? Is he undroppable? Is he like our Sonny, who was undroppable even when he was playing shit?
Yeah, I think so. I think to some degree. Like, if he doesn't play, Liverpool lose, they'll say, why didn't they play him? You know. And I think when you're under pressure, you either stick or twist, right? You either kind of go, you know what, I need to change something. And if it works, then great, right? Then you're validated. But you have to win. But if you win playing Salah, then no one's going to ask any questions. But if you don't play Salah and you win, it might look inspired. But if you don't play Salah and you lose, people are going to say, what are you doing? And right now he's under the pressure. Similar to how, like you said, I think with Sonny, you know, Ange Postecoglou was fighting enough fires with everything else, so he had to carry on playing him because it was going to shit anyway. So you've got to play your strongest team when it's going to shit. Otherwise, you're going to be.
This is going to suit Liverpool in every shape, way, or form. It's an insight. They don't have to make excuses why he's dropped, because he's not going. In fact, he wants to go earlier. You got Man United trying to get Mbeumo and a couple of others delayed to go. He wants to go earlier. Let him go, and see what you're like without him. We might see a better Liverpool. Defensively, they're going to be the same, but I think from a fluidity point of view, maybe it will be a chance for Florian Wirtz to show a bit more.
When does the actual tournament start, the African Cup?
December. One player, Sean, do you remember a player who played for Spurs, who I absolutely loved, who didn't need to beat his man to cross the ball, who was unbelievable, that all Spurs fans said, he's done, the injuries finished him off, he's killed him? Ivan Perisic. Well, he ain't killed him at all.
Amazing.
He's as good now. He's crossing, and his ability to cross the ball, he's second to none. I mean, we could have done with an Ivan Perisic in our team now. And PSV have definitely benefited from his ability to cross the ball. I reckon he'll start tonight. I'll be amazed if he doesn't. How old is he now?
Impact must be 38, is he? 36.
36, yeah. Still doing it.
Serginho Dest. Is it Serginho Dest at right back? He's a good player.
Yeah.
Is it Serginho? It is Serginho, yeah. Serginho Dest.
So Destiny says the tournament for AFCON starts on the 21st of December. So they will be practicing probably a week or 2 weeks prior to that, would you say?
So when does... Yeah, I never, to be honest, I'm trying to... I'm a little bit dusty this morning. My mind's not really working.
Switzerland aren't in it. I know your mind's dusty.
Does the tournament usually start on early January? Because I know it usually goes until, like, if you get to the final, it's usually like February the 2nd or 3rd it finishes, doesn't it? From memory.
2nd or 3rd of February, yeah.
Yeah, so, but this year it starts a couple of weeks early, so did it finish earlier as well?
Well, it might do, but I think it will still go to Feb, I think. End of January. No doubt there'll be injuries. Spurs are losing Papa Sarr.
The final's the 18th of January, yeah, so they've moved it back 2 weeks, basically.
Yeah.
So...
It's actually a short tournament, isn't it? They shortened it.
Well, it's a month. 21st of December to the 18th of Jan.
Yeah, but that's the final. There's a good chance you'll be back way before that. But the trouble is, how early do you have to be to take them for practicing?
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the question I was going to ask. I don't really remember in previous times whether players would leave like just a couple. Like if they were important players, do they leave like literally the last like? They'll play a game and then they'll get on a plane straight after the game to go and join their team a couple of days before, or are they there like a week or 2 weeks early practicing?
Man United are desperately trying to make sure Buemo and a couple of others are not playing until like the week before. But some are going to be expected to go 2 weeks before. Well, I think we'll have to wait and see, but. It's going to be an interesting one. That Sunderland quite affected by it. Spurs, we've only losing Papa Sarr, and that's it. I'm trying to think who else now. Saw some terrible lazy journalism the other day, Sean. Liverpool to sign Semenya, even though that with the knowledge he'll be missing for the
That was from Florian Plettenberg.
I mean, really?
He's supposed to be what? He's like the German version of, I don't know, like the he's like, he's all over German. He's the big guy. He's the big of German football, isn't he?
How do you know that? Yeah. We'll have to wait and see.
Proper gaff, that one. Proper gaff. So what are we saying tonight? Do you think Liverpool are going to turn it around? Is it a nice game for them to be able to...
Yeah, I think this is a game. I still think PSV will score. I'm going to go for a 2-1 Liverpool victory. I don't think it'd be easy for them. No, I don't think it'd be easy. What do you think?
I'm going to go for... Yeah, I'll probably go... I think Liverpool will win, but I don't think it'll be an easy game. Yeah, I think Liverpool at home right now just a little bit they're nothing like as terrifying as they always were. But it is a Champions League night. Liverpool fans will get behind their.
I lost you.
Sorry, what happened there?
Yeah, across the early games, couple of good, interesting early kickoffs. My mate's there tonight, actually, at this game. Copenhagen versus Kirat. Copenhagen looking to earn some money. They're not in the table. Interesting. They have an interesting finish in that league, Sean.
Right.
Because what they do is when it stops, I think it's in December, and then it becomes a sort of a mini league between the top 6 and the bottom 6.
In Denmark?
Yeah, and they sort of rotate, sort of the top 6 teams play each other. But Copenhagen's sort of struggling now, having done very well in the league last season, are struggling to maintain both playing in the Champions League and making a challenge in their domestic league. Should win this one at home to Kirat.
Both teams, Copenhagen 33rd in the league, winless. Yeah. One draw from 4. And Kirat 1 draw, both on 1 point each. I've got no idea, mate. I've got no idea about Kirat's team. I've got no idea really about.
I know a bit about Copenhagen. There's a Brazilian boy called Robert that's there. Good little player. The interesting one though is going to be Paphos, who have already won. Already done wonders. Paphos. They're playing at home to Monaco. What do you think there? I mean, Monaco should walk this, shouldn't they?
Well, you say that, but Paphos won in the last game at home, didn't they?
I'm trying to think who they beat now, but yeah, I'm sure you're right.
Let's have a look. I'm sure they beat a decent team out there.
Yeah, no, that's why I said that they won.
They've
won 1 and drawn 2.
Yeah, they beat. Where's the thing? Here we go. Champions League. They lost 5-1 to Bayern. They beat Olympiacos. Oh, that's in the actual Greek league. Where's the Champions League? They drew with Kaverna Zvezda, and they beat Dynamo Kiev. That's the third qualifying round. For fuck's sake, what are we doing here?
They've won 1 and drawn 2. They beat Villarreal.
That's it. Villarreal. Hold on.
Yeah. And so Monaco, I might watch a bit of that game, Sean, just to see how Akalouche gets on, to see whether he's still smashing it up. Be an interesting game, that one. But Paphos, a bit of a surprise package for a team from Cyprus to have got 1 win and 2 draws. The amount of money, they've probably never seen that amount of money coming into the club before. Long may it continue. I want to see these small clubs do well.
Where are they sat currently? Paphos are currently 25th. So they're right on the brink. And Monaco are 24th. Big game, both on 5 points. Both on 5 points, right? So
an important game.
If Paphos can win here, they might actually qualify. They might actually have a sniff of getting into the last.
The amount of money that they get, and don't forget they've come through the qualifying period. Yeah, they qualified. Dynamo Kiev, a couple of other games. They've come through this the hard way.
Yeah,
so they've a serious amount of money that they've probably never seen before.
Yeah, good for them.
So good on them. Good on them. Well, let's start with alphabetical order. Might as well. The big one, probably from football perspective, it will be Arsenal versus Bayern Munich. Will Arsenal rest players, Sean, with an eye on the big game, the one that really, really matters? Because let's be honest, Arsenal can afford to draw this or not win this tonight and still easily qualify in the top 8.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. But I think there's probably some sort of level of positioning sort of going on, not so much from the league position, but just more around if Bayern Munich were to go there and beat Arsenal sort of quite comfortably, playing a full strength team, and Arsenal were to drop to rest a few players, I just wonder whether or not that will kind of give them a psychological edge, because I believe that Arsenal and Bayern will likely meet again at some point in the tournament, in the semi-finals or whatever, depending on the draw. Because I think that both teams are just too good right now, and I think they're both probably up there with me in the top 3 or 4 favourites to win the whole tournament. And so there's a strong chance that I think that Arsenal and Bayern will possibly meet again. And if they do that over a 2-legged affair, it would be a little bit of a boon for Bayern Munich if they were to go there, take the game more seriously than Arsenal tonight and get a result. It might just sort of give them a little bit more of an edge in the later, more important stages. And I think Arteta's one of these kind of 4D chess geezers that is always thinking about everything. And so, I don't know. For me, I would just imagine that Arteta's still going to go fairly strong tonight.
Look, I think Bayern, I think probably would have rested players at the weekend. This doesn't have the significance of a knockout game. I don't think they're both wanting to show their full hand at this stage of the tournament. We saw, was it PSG? Arsenal beat PSG in the group stages last season, and then went on to get knocked out. But I think there's a bit of pride at stake. But I think both teams will look to change it up. And I think if these teams meet, which is very likely in the knockout stages of the Champions League, you'll be seeing a completely different setup, I think, if the two teams meet, to the one you'll see tonight on the pitch. What do you think?
Yeah, I know. As I was saying before, I think that both teams, because I think they will meet each other later on. I think that they're going to. I think that Bayern will take this game seriously. I don't know who Bayern have got in the Bundesliga on the weekend. Do you know?
I shall find out, but I would have thought. I think they rested players on the weekend there.
They've got St. Pauli, FC St. Pauli.
Right. Okay.
And they're at home, right? So I'd imagine they could probably go.
Bit of a tough one.
Yeah, no, so I think Bayern will go fairly full strength, and I think that because of that, like I said earlier, I just think that Arsenal won't want to give a little edge there. So I think that they'll go for. Listen, but Arsenal can rotate players and still look very strong, can't they? They've got so many different options that they can utilise. So any team they put out is going to be a challenge. But I actually think Bayern Munich are worthy of something tonight. So I'm going to go for 1-1. I think 1-1.
Yeah, I don't think Arsenal want to be conceding goals because they've got this sort of fortress Emirates, just like Fortress White Hart Lane. I think Bayern Munich won't want to give an inch. So even though I don't think we'll see the full hand played by either manager with an eye on the knockout stages, I still think you'll see quite a feisty affair. Might be quite nice if Arsenal had a couple of injuries. Did I say that? I can't believe I said that. In time for the game, maybe a Saliba injury. But no, I think this is going to be an interesting game. I'm going to go for I think I'm going to go for a 2-1 Bayern Munich win with an Elise goal.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm going to go for 1-1. Personally.
Another interesting game coming up, which is also going to be a really good game. Atletico Madrid versus Internazionale, Inter Milan. Is this going to be a turgid affair of defence v defence, or do you think this could be like a better game than... As Inter Milan are playing well at the moment?
Yeah, I think Inter Milan can be very defensive if they want to be, but they've also got the capability to be able to really turn it on when they want to as well. And if Atletico Madrid are going to hand in the ball like they usually just sit in and dig tight, then it'd be a fascinating encounter. But I don't think it'll be a great game of football to watch. I think that Inter Milan might end up sneaking this one 2-1 for me. But I do think it'll be an interesting game, but I don't think it's going to be having said that, it could easily be 3-2, whatever.
Right. There's a bit of news that Foxy always is here with the news. Diaz is suspended tonight. Every top player is always suspended when it comes to playing Arsenal.
Yeah,
which is good, which means it will be it'll be back. Sorry, Uphill Gardner, don't be a twat, Johnny. Can you explain to me?
When you're saying Arsenal injuries.
Arsenal injuries. Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. Fair enough.
The Inter Atletico Madrid game, like I say, I'm not particularly interested in it. I don't think it'll be a one for the ages. I think that Atletico Madrid will probably be on
1-0. I'm going to go 1-0. What are you doing?
2-1 to Inter, I think.
2-1 Inter.
Yeah.
Next one's going to be interesting, right? Eintracht Frankfurt struggling in the Champions League and Atalanta going through all sorts. I guess this is one where I don't know what do we want with this one, because we're going to play Eintracht Frankfurt. Do we want Eintracht Frankfurt to win this so they're comfortable in the knockout stages? Because if they lose to Atalanta tonight, they could find themselves struggling to make the top 24.
Yeah, that's what you want.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm happy for Atalanta to win tonight. I think because who have Eintracht Frankfurt got after that? They've got they have in the next games. They've got Tottenham obviously on the 28th of Jan. Before that, they have why can't I see it? Barcelona away.
Okay.
Yeah, so they really need to. We're the last game of the season away. They've got Barcelona away as well. They must have a home game.
They're 27th in the league, right? Yeah. So a loss tonight against Atalanta. I'd like to see Lookman get a look in and have a good performance. So then it would provoke someone to go and bring him in January. But I'm going to go for Atalanta win. 2-1.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't sound too unreasonable. Who else have they got? I don't know what's going on with my date. Like there's none of the details on this screen that I usually see. They've got Atalanta tonight. They have Barcelona away on the 9th of December. They must have another game. Oh, Karabakh. There you go. They've got Karabakh away as well.
Oh, well, that ain't going to be easy. We know Karabakh,
Yeah, I think Frankfurt might be in trouble, mate. Frankfurt might not qualify out.
You know? They need the win. They desperately need the win tonight against Atalanta, and Atalanta could do with the win for their confidence. They lost to Napoli. They lost to Sassuolo. They beat Marseille in the last round, 1-0 away from home, and they lost to Udinese. So in the league they're doing terrible. But Eintracht Frankfurt haven't done so bad the last two games. They drew with Napoli away, which was a very good result for Eintracht Frankfurt. They've had a tough draw, haven't they? Very tough draw, Eintracht Frankfurt. Really tough. Will it be an interesting one to see? What about this one? Olympiacos versus Real Madrid. The news coming through that Dean Huijsen's injury is much worse than first thought.
Okay.
And that's going to hurt them. Not in this game, but I think this could hurt them in the season. They seem to be in a bit of disarray at the moment. I don't know what Foxy thinks about the current situation. There's rumours about Vinicius Jr. not being happy. There's rumours about Rodrigo Goes, wanting to go. Rumours that Nico Paz, they're going to bring him back. Is that going to affect Gurlan?
In this particular game, I just think that Olympiacos have been really poor in the Champions League.
Oh, no.
They drew with Paphos. They drew with PSV Eindhoven. They lost to Arsenal and Barcelona. They've got a tough draw for sure. They've got a tough draw, but for me, I think this one's going to be 3-0 to Real Madrid, easy peasy, no problem. You?
Yeah, I think it will be a straightforward win. A straightforward win. Just to say, Biggie, I've got no allegiance to the New York Yankees. It's just I actually just like the hat. I like hats. I've got no allegiance. It's not for me. I understand. It's not like me wearing a Spurs hat, but to American fans out there, if I wear an LA Dodgers hat, I piss off the New Yorkers.
Why don't you just go and pick a random team Tampa Bay Rays. Go and get a Tampa Bay Rays hat, mate. No one's gonna have a problem with that one,
Yeah, the Alligators. I'll have to get.
Quick super chat here from Adam Horlock. Big up to you, mate. It's so generous, Adam. Thank you so much, man. Very, very, very. Oh, Johnny's gone. Thank you very much for the super chat, Johnny. Adam even I can't speak today. He says, "Big up, guys. Love doing the scores on the weekend. We loved having you, man. We loved having you a part of it. You did very well as well. I think you beat me, didn't you? It's great how you involve the chat so well. Yeah, we try to. we feel like a little family community over here, isn't it? You should do a prediction league for the chat in the week for the Champions League games. We should have done, but because we're now halfway through, or more than. You right, Johnny?
Yeah, no, I went and changed my hat. Are you happy? Are you happy with that?
I didn't notice. Right, there you go. Nice. We should have done a Champions League predicciones as well, shouldn't we? But we didn't. I'll have to go and get a new jingle. Maybe we could do one for the knockout stages, Johnny. What do you reckon about that?
We'll have to try. Yeah, we'll do one for the knockout stages. I could get a MAGA hat or make Tottenham great again.
Yeah.
What would that be? Matug.
Yeah.
Doesn't quite sound right. Get a Toronto Blue Jays cap. I watched. Talking of which, I don't know.
Thank you very much, Adam. Really appreciate that, mate. Very nice, buddy. Very nice.
Thanks very much, Adam. Really appreciate it. I don't know if any of you watched Brits or Europeans out there who don't normally watch baseball. But if you haven't, go on YouTube and watch the highlights of the World Series 7th game. Unbelievable drama. Even if you're not into sport, that final game in the World Series.
When did it happen?
About 2 weeks ago.
Okay. I'll check it out.
Go and watch it. Unbelievable. Toronto versus LA. Unbelievable finish. Yeah, tremendous. Sporting Lisbon versus Club Bruges. I think this could be quite a good game.
Yeah, Bruges not quite as good at home, away from home as they are at home. Yeah. At home, they're fantastic. Obviously, we spoke about that before the Barcelona game last time. Sporting, be interesting, mate. A lot of players in the Sporting team that we want to keep an eye on. And I think that Sporting will have just about enough over Bruges just because they don't travel as well. Be a nice game, though. Be a nice game to watch, actually. If you can, it's difficult because there's so many good games on. You can only really pick one. Obviously, at that time, we'll be watching Tottenham play. So we'll only get to see the highlights. But I would imagine it would be for a neutral. It would be a decent game to have a look at.
I think it'll be a good game. And I'm just looking out at Club Bruges for the next, the next big player. And I think the one that we're likely to go for is what's his name now? Don't mind nutting. Stankovic. Alexander Stankovic. The top baller, his son, Alexander Stankovic. Spurs are watching him, and I think he's a top player. I think we might go for him, Sean.
Yeah, look, I liked him when I saw him. I liked him when I looked him through the Y Scout. But I had Jacko Katz on the channel, and he came through the Inter Academy, I believe.
That's right.
And Jacko was saying that he's obviously a bit more familiar with him, and he's a good player. Or at least when he was more familiar with him when he was at Inter as a youngster, he never really stood out as anything that was going to be too memorable. But so he doesn't think he's the guy. But from what I've seen of him at Brugge, I think he looks really, really handy.
Listen, if I had £1 for every time the guy looked like the guy and didn't turn out to be the guy, and the guy who looked like the guy wasn't, and the vice versa. How many times were you at school and the bird that looked like the ugly one turned out to be the swan and not the ugly duckling?
I went to an all-boys school, mate, so
so did I, mate. I used to hang up on the fence. I used to hang on the fence like licking the windows.
Yeah. Listen, I don't know how many more games we've got to go to, mate, but I've got about 6 minutes left in my schedule, mate, before I've got to jump off.
All right, let's do Paris. Let's do Paris Spurs. We can't not do Spurs Paris Saint-Germain.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Is that the last game you haven't talked about yet?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think
it's going to be for me. Look, it's going to be a tough night, isn't it?
Well, are you waving the white flag?
No, listen, I don't expect anything from the game, but what I do expect is I want to see a little bit more. I'd like to get an XG above, I don't know, 0.2.
Do you want to see them try, Sean? Do you want to see them try and get hammered, Or, I mean, if they tried and attacked and got hammered 6-1, would you feel more happy than sitting back and losing 1-0 and like defending?
No, I expect us to defend. I'm not saying like throw all of our preparation out the window. I'm just saying, like, I feel like you have to be more combative, get involved in the duels, like almost just carbon copy what we did in the Super Cup. We went 2-0 up. We weren't outplayed. I know that they didn't, like, they were not, fully fit and all that stuff. I hear all that, but set up with the same kind of energy, set up with the same desire. Get your structure in place. Back three. Get the wing backs to try and get the ball forward. Get the ball into Kudus, and then try and play. Get someone. I don't think it should be Odegaard tonight. I think Xavi Simons needs to play. I think he really needs to play tonight. And whether or not, or you bring. I don't know if Kolo Muani will start. If he does play, I think Muani will have a point to prove. So I think there'll be some effort and energy there for sure. And so I just want Tottenham to, to not abdicate all of their preparation and not to throw out the game plan against the best team or one of the best teams on paper, at least in the competition. Expect a tough fight. Expect a lot of defensive, responsibilities. Don't sit so deep though that you're on the 6-yard line again. Like sit like, just normal sort of defensive structure. But when you get the ball back, don't shit yourself and just hand it back. Try and play the ball out. Try and play it up with deliberate kind of positional sense into Kudus, into Rishi, whoever's going to be up there, and then see what Xavi can work with. But if we just sort of do something similar to the Arsenal game where you're just defending for your lives, and as soon as you get it, you're just putting your foot through the ball and hitting it away, then you're just going to be on the receiving end, wave after wave after wave, and it's going to be a frustrating night. So I don't want us to answer your question specifically. No, I don't expect us to lose 6-1, and I wouldn't rather that. But I would like to see the team, when they have the ball, have some sort of interest in doing something with it other than just giving it back to the opposition.
Do you think the Lone Ranger will play tonight in the mask, or what do you reckon?
Well, listen, if he does, there's an argument. I don't think you can drop Richie. Right? Richie's trying harder than anybody else in the last couple of games. He scored a worldie.
He scored 2 in the last 2 and an assist. And
he also is an outlet with Kudus. So on that basis, I'd say no, unless you want to make the front three, make it like a 3-4-3, but that third person be Muani. And then you've got 3 target men, really, haven't you?
I would play Muani up front, Richie on the left, Kudus on the right, Xavi in the hole. And I would play Papa Sarr.
A back 4 then.
Yeah, Papa Sarr with Paulinho.
Okay, that's not bad. And then just a back 4, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't mind
if we are going to go the 5, if we are going to play a back 5, I have no problem with it. But our 2 wing backs have to be allowed to go forward.
Yeah.
And I prefer if only one goes at a time. Yeah.
I agree. Yeah. It's like a security guard. Like you got 2 security guards protecting the property. Don't both go for a shit at the same time, okay? One at a time.
One shit at a time, right? One of you eyes on the cameras, the other one going for a shit, right? Or trying to score, okay? But definitely one at a time. Look, I think Spurs fans fear the worst, but sometimes something crazy happens. We're unbeaten, right, Sean?
Yeah, exactly. Something to write home about for sure. And it's his first Champions League. Thomas Frank's first Champions League campaign. Like I said to you though, right? Draws in league format, draws for me piss me off. They don't really offer any value. I think that if you could draw every game and you wouldn't qualify out of this tournament, right? You might go unbeaten. So I think you have to, obviously away in PSG, you'll take a draw, just like you take a draw at Arsenal away, whatever. But you do. I think that playing for draws, playing not to lose, is often. I think it's the central part of why people are frustrated.
Take a draw, yeah, I totally get it. But in a game like this, you take a draw and run off with it.
100% all day long. Yeah, all day long.
I mean, I hear.
But you know what the problem is, though, mate, is that that's worthless if you then go and screw up against Slavia Prague in 2 weeks' time or whenever it is next week, whatever.
Look, I'm quite happy for Bergvall to play instead of Papa Sarr as well. I don't have a problem with that. Because he'll progress the ball, and he's itching to get back in after all the nonsense that he's had.
Yeah.
But personally, I play Papa Sarr now only because I'd like to save Bergvall for the run of games that are coming up when Papa Sarr won't be there to be playing in the squad. I think Papa Sarr should now be playing every single game until he goes off for the African Congo Congress, AFCON, whatever you want to call it. Guys, if you're in the chat, please, if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button. And if you're also here, please hit the like button. Our likes and subscribe numbers are not as strong a game as normal. We're playing a bit like Tottenham against Arsenal and Chelsea. So if you are here, hit the thumb, or if you're coming later on and you're not watching live, still counts. The subscribe and the like button all helps.
Yeah, you know what, Johnny? I don't dislike your setup, to be honest. I'm curious to know how he goes. Does he throw the baby out the bathwater and give up on the back five because it was so bad, or does he stick with it? If he does go out, throw it out the water and goes to a back four, and your model, I quite like the shape of the team that you suggested. Moani up the top, Richarlison and Kudus. I'd almost be okay with that and not having Xavi, even though I'd think that Xavi should play. Like I'd almost be okay with him going for that front three, because then you do have three big fellas that are all capable of bringing the ball down. You just need one of them, that two-man defensive midfield pivot in a back three or back five model. You need one of them to be able to sort of join up and be able to sort of help the person who's the outlet to bring the ball into play. But I'm going to go for, having said all that, I'm going to go for a 2-1 Spurs loss tonight.
I'm going to go for a 3-1 PSG. I mean, look, I thought we were doing well until what's his name? Hakian. What's his name? The Japanese, the Korean boy.
Hang Lee. No, Lee Kang In.
Lee Kang In. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I hope he's not in tonight. I hope he's a sub.
I don't think Hakimi's Lee Kang out. Leave it out.
Hakimi's got a damn it.
He's not playing, Hakimi, and PSG are. If he's not playing, mate, PSG are not quite as great.
Yeah, but listen, come on, right? Okay, Desiree Doui's not there. They've only got some guy called Barcola, and it's a who's who. It's a smorgasbord of talent, right? One that I'd like to just pick. I think
a smorgasbord of options.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'd like to pick a couple. Just throw into the Spurs team and lift us to another level. But I'm going to go 3-1. Let's see some of your scores in the chat there. What you think before we go? Lee Kang
1-1 says Adam. PSG 3-1 says Ryan.
I've done 3-1. I mean, Kanging, he completely changed the game when he came on last time, didn't he?
Yeah, he's a good player. But he just sat in the pocket the same as Eze did against Arsenal, because when we sat so deep with our back five on the basically on the 6-yard line, clever teams or clever players can just figure that out very quickly and then go, well, if they're going to be there, then the space is obviously on the edge of the box, the D, and that's where Eze destroyed us, carbon copy 3 times. It's also where Lee Kang-in destroyed us in the second half to get back into the game.
Tell me something. How much do you think playing a hard game where you're going to have to work your arse off on a Wednesday night away in Europe is going to affect us when we play Fulham, who have had the whole week to relax and rest and prepare solely for this game?
Yeah, look, listen, mate, he's going to have to find a way to get the right balance out of the two teams for that game and for this game tonight, because you can't abdicate and you can't make excuses, right? You can't make excuses. So, not you. I mean, like, he's got a job to do. He's got 2 games. He's got 2 games, and if he fucks up against Fulham, mate, there will be chaos for sure.
I think a lot of teams struggle after Europe. I mean, that's a fact, But he's not going to be allowed that luxury. He's going to be no luxury at all. But realistically,
I've got a rush.
Okay, guys, goodbye from me. Thanks for everybody. Thanks for being here. Thanks for your support. We will see you tomorrow, where Sean will tell us how we got on. No doubt, predicting all the scores. Guys, thanks very much for your support. It's goodbye from me.
It's goodbye from Johnny. See you tomorrow, guys. Bye.
Bye.